Hi, welcome to this month's r/technology Reddit news review. This is a monthly review of the top posts on Reddit r/technology, and we try to read what is the most discussed, most upvoted posts. And most of the time, it's basically, honestly, I've been surprised that it's not as AI as I expected to be, but let's try to share the screen. Is that the correct screen? Yes, it is the correct screen. So I have some analytics before we actually jump into the posts, and it's interesting to see this is the past 30 days, which means it's not exactly May, it will include June, but you can see Wednesday is where we see the most number of posts per day. Interesting, over somewhere around 18, more than 15 posts, 17 posts per day. Sunday apparently is the day where there is less than 10 posts per day, which is interesting. And then the post by hour, we can see, I'm guessing this is, honestly, this is the hour that is on Reddit, where you go to their JSON link, and 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. are the least number of posts, somewhere around 1, and then 6 p.m. and that's 4 p.m. most number of posts. That I also find that interesting. And then the number of scores, apparently we get a lot more scores on a Tuesday compared to a Monday. And I can absolutely understand that, that people don't want to upvote things on a Monday. Number of comments, people want to talk the most on Sunday. Wow. Not post, but talk. And then these are the top content domains, meaning websites. Wait, the first one is nothing? Or is it Business Insider? It looks like nothing. And then we have Fortune, and then we have Tom's Hardware, we have TechPost, Gizmodo, Yahoo. Oh, Yahoo's here. The Guardian, TechCrunch. Huh? What is that? That's new to me. And then 404 Media. How do I read this? Arstechnia? Something like that? Huh. Took me a second. And then the most interesting one was, yeah, okay, so this is the first one. Got it. This is the first one, but because it looks so long, it's been moved aside. Okay. The most interesting one that I found was actually the top flares. And why I find it interesting, compared to last month, I kept the file open so that you can see. So AI has somewhere around 30. And by the way, I just realized why the numbers are so small. Because I only get top 100 already. So this is out of top 100, how many? So AI was somewhere around 30, business was higher, 30, maybe 2. But now when you look at this month's, AI is over 40. And business is somewhere in the dust, under 15. Again, this is top 100 that Reddit allows me to see when I say give me top 100, and I cannot say give me top 101. 100 is the last number I can ask for. But that, just a drastic change surprised me. And yes, it's a pick of 100, not every post. And then we have AI, business, security, society, energy, software, hardware, social media, privacy, and ad block warning. Yeah, so these are fun. Scores versus comments. You can look at it if you want. The engagement heat map is also there. apparently early morning people are not as engaged. So people don't start procrastinating first thing in the morning, which is good. But like when they get to the job, maybe. So my idea was, last time we said let's do the ratio, which is cool. We can start with the ratio. My other idea is we look at one thing that's top score, one thing that's top comment, and then we look at ratio to see if those actually come to the like comparing them, you know? Does that make sense? So if I say sort by highest and I highlighted, let's say yellow, and then I say sort by most commented and I highlight that, let's change the color just in case, purple, and then I do the ratio. Is that, yeah, that's I said A to Z. All right, so top commented is already there. No way, that was top commented. I made a mistake. I made a mistake and I did smallest instead of largest. Let's try again. Purple. And she says she likes data science. Descending, top descending, not top not descending. All right, now we have our top here. Obviously 58 is higher than this number, so Seattle, I apologize. Reset. And then that's not a high number. Reset. Now we can see the most commented one is actually somewhere in the 80s, and the most scored one is 19 in the ratio category. Is that anything interesting to you guys? Because this is interesting to me. So let's start with the highest scored one. The title says, the Netherlands just blocked a US company from buying the app Dutch citizens use for everything. I actually saw that when I was browsing Reddit. And it's from TechSpot. Let's open it and see. This is by TechSpot. The author is Alfonso Maruccia. The Netherlands just blocked a US company from buying the app Dutch citizens use for everything. In a nutshell, US enterprise services provider, right? Tried to acquire Dutch cloud specialist Slovinity, but The Hague has officially stopped the acquisition, citing a potential security risk to the country's public interest. State Security for Digital Economy, Williamin Ayer. There should be some how to pronounce these names guide, honestly. Erdit recently confirmed the takeover ban. The decision anticipates a potentially disruptive initiative designed to further promote European sovereignty in the digital market. Good for them. As far as technology is concerned, US and Europe are growing apart at an accelerated rate. EU authorities are working to build their own digital sovereignty, while member states are now actively pushing foreign buyers away when it comes to local service providers. We did talk about last time EU is moving away from Windows, so that's also happening. Like, good for them. Freedom is nice. Being independent is nice. Sorry for botching the pronunciation, but I'll just go with it. Kyndryl first announced the acquisition in November 2025, saying Slovinity would expand its portfolio of mission-critical enterprise and cloud services. Slovinity operates secure managed cloud platforms and supports key Dutch digital systems, including DigiD, the authentication platform widely used by Dutch citizens. This is very, I would call this sensitive data. Why would another country need to have this data? Shouldn't that even be like government owned in a way? DigiD allows users to confirm their identity when interacting with public institutions and essential services. Yeah, public institutions. From booking medical appointments to completing housing-related transactions. Following a review by the Investment Screening Bureau, BTI, Dutch officials concluded that allowing the acquisition to proceed could weaken the country's control over an important part of its domestic cloud ecosystem. Yes, and then there's a Gen AI photo of a cloud. I don't think that's very relevant. The BTI is tasked with screening acquisitions and other major operations within the Dutch digital infrastructure. As the acquisition was going to be finalized soon, the guy's office was compelled to acknowledge the Bureau's advice and block the operation on May 25th. Dutch officials emphasized that the review process is country neutral and based on risk assessment, meaning we would do this even if it was another country. Cool. That's very that's a good strategy to say it's not you, it's me. Which means there are no ill intent against US companies specifically. Of course, why would there be any? Yeah, there's a high risk, but there's no ill intent. That's fine. The Hague stressed that foreign technology firms remain welcome in the Netherlands. At the same time, the government said it must preserve an independent framework for reviewing investments that could affect national security or broader public interest. I think that's the end. Nope, not the end yet. Three really small paragraphs left. Kindrel, however, sharply criticized the decision, saying it was extremely disappointed by the intervention. The company accused Dutch authorities of politicizing a transaction it believes would have benefited both Slovenity's customers and Dutch citizens. Seriously? Is that what you think? Giving your digital data to another country? Like digital identification of your citizens? We already do that with our social media use. There isn't an algorithm that does not recognize us, but still trying to keep some control where it's possible. Trying being the keyword. As a matter of fact, the clash would be an early sign of a much larger confrontation taking shape across Europe's tech sector. EU regulators are expected to unveil a new tech sovereignty package in the near future, an initiative aimed at strengthening local cloud providers and reducing reliance on foreign big tech companies. If adopted in its current form, the proposal could significantly reshape how US cloud giants such as Microsoft and Google do business in Europe, forcing new stringent requirements, particularly when handling sensitive citizen data protected under the GDPR rules. Hell yeah. I love it when EU makes life difficult for greedy companies. And we kind of do that already. Exactly. Hi, Aaron, right? So we're already making our lives difficult, but it's nice that there are there are powers be that try to protect us. So if we look at this post on the Reddits to see what people are talking about, we can do that. Here is the post from 8 days ago. It is the highest scored one that Reddit allowed me to see from the past 30 days. We have someone, a commenter, saying Dutch here. When the article says everything, it really means everything. Oh, so apparently this application is used for everything. It's used to keep track of your education, your taxes, your healthcare, your pension, your driver's license, your location, and moving, subsidies, and more. I have used it more than I can count. Honestly, the fact that it could be bought and sold exactly is outrageous to me. Yeah, the fact that it can be... Okay, the person in reply saying the fact that it's managed by a private company is crazy to me. Shouldn't be a government thing? Because I believe those ID applications should be government. And if we look at the next comment, it says the Cloud Act pretty much killed deals like this. Being able to dip into another nation's data, even if in the EU, when it's held by a US company, creates an obvious problem. Throw in Trump and it's even a worse idea. Could not agree more. American here, good. Yeah, like, keep your nation's data to yourself. I mean, not in a negative way, just like it's safer. And that was the highest scored one with 58,000 scores. Cool. If we go to the highest commented... damn it! I just saw the title of the next article. Reddit starts blocking mobile websites, pushing users to app instead. I have not been able to use Reddit for weeks. When was that? May 11th. The post is from May 11th. Is it possible that it's exactly from that date? But I refuse to download the Reddit app. I use it through a browser, and I have not been able to use it. It's very frustrating. Like, I see the first post, maybe the second, and then it just goes away. I get a pop-up saying, please download the app, which is really annoying. And I can, and maybe do, use, like, I think, yeah, only mobile is blocked, not laptop, computers, browsers. So at least I can do that if I want to, which I don't. If I'm on a laptop, I do other stuff. I sometimes actually open TV channels, like, just to have something open in the background. Obviously, I mostly watch YouTube though. So this post, that is the most commented one, has over 4,000 comments. The next one behind it has 2,800, and it says an 81-year-old grandpa streaming Minecraft to play for grandsons. Oh god, that got fast quickly. For grandson's cancer treatment has been swatted. What the hell? Online people who are, I would say, not well. Okay, I'll just go back to that other post. Can't relate. All right, let's go to our second news article from Mac Rumors. That's a cute website. It reminds me of like 2010s designs. And this is a post from May 11th by Tim Hardwick that says Reddit starts blocking mobile websites, pushing users to app instead. Social network Reddit recently began blocking mobile visitors to its website while pushing them to download the official Reddit app. And it's fair to say that the move is not going down well with users. I actually don't consider myself a Reddit user, but I enjoy using it because I find the coolest thing there. Like, most of the time, because I use Firefox as my phone browser, and most of the time I keep things that I find interesting opened in a tab. I will not tell you what's the number of open tabs I have. There's a reason for it. Yeah. And later I'm like showing it to my mom, showing it to my sister, showing it to my like nieces and nephews, because I find so many interesting things. Like, maybe it's a photo of a person fishing, and then that's interesting because the fish is interesting. Or like a oh, you know what, I'll tell you what I found recently that I found it really interesting. There was a video of two cats fighting really aggressively and a chicken trying to mediate. And if you can't believe me, I'm gonna try to find the video later. And then I showed that to my mom. I was like, how cute is that chicken? And then there was a human there also. Because I think the cats could have been pets, and the chicken, let's call that a pet as well, but probably a farm animal. But like the chicken looked in control, and then like with the human, and like, see, I'm helping you. So I found that really cute. And yes, you might find that on X/Twitter from time to time, but it's not the same thing. It's very cute. Chickens, depends. Sometimes they're bossy, and then sometimes I just feel like they're a nice lady. I do see chickens as cute. Can I find that post? I mean, I know we're here to look at the news. There we go. Found it. I'm gonna show it to you right now. There's nothing you can do about it. So, two cats fighting really aggressively. Don't the cats look like one entity? Like, they're so they're fighting so bad. That is one that is one proud chicken, like walking beside the human being, like, we did it. But did she just pour water on the cats? I mean, one thing, like, king of rats, but of cats. Yes, queen of cats. Just wanted to get in on the action. No, she was mediating. The human wanted to get in on the action, maybe. One thing I noticed, this is a very lovely home, is the fairy lights. I'm like, hey, do I have similar fairy lights? I have somewhat similar looking. Not exactly. No, I don't have exactly these ones, but I have similar looking fairy lights. I like fairy lights. I have way too many sources of light, so that I keep my room as dark as possible, but like with warm light. I don't like fluorescent white light. So yes, and that's the news from 12 days ago. I will try to report on this while the news is what do they say? There's a word for it. Building, it's happening. Yeah, there's a comment saying, I've seen cats fight. I didn't know they can like lock to each other so tight that they become one object that can be tossed. Yeah. Current as yeah. As the news is developing. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Okay, let's actually read the Reddit news. It's just making me sad because I can't watch any more cats fight, you know? I mean, I don't want to watch cats fight. I want to watch chickens mediate. I want a chicken negotiation course. Okay. Because I feel like chickens are really chill. I mean, yes, they do. Like, roosters are not chill at all. I've seen way too many that want to fight me. But chickens, they mind their own business. And, yeah, are really bad with, Q jump. The Elon Musk versus OpenAI case ended. There was a case? Oh. Was there a case? Because I know Elon Musk used to own OpenAI. At least he used to invest in it. Like, he used to be one of the board members, right? Back in the before 2020s, back in the 2010s. Is that in the queue? Was it in the queue? I don't see it. Do you see it? We'll get there. And if it's not there, you can maybe send it and we can look at it. Ooh, Pope Leo's thingy. I actually tried reading it and I have it opened and I want to read it. Yeah, he was suing them. Ah. Because he didn't make the AI open source. They didn't make the AI open source. Ah. He sued, I think. Oh, I thought it was about him. I don't know. That's very kind of him to say, why isn't your AI open source? I mean, not that he can make any AI open source that he has access to, right? How kind of such a, like, person who cares about humanity, you know? Trying to take the company private. Okay. It's companies that go, there's a word for it, and then their stock can be bought. But if they're private, that means their stock cannot be bought. That's what it means, right? And that was the bit that was more the private part. It was the thing that was like, I feel like I know this word, but I'm not sure. Contentious. I knew that word. I swear I did. The thing that they're disagreeing on. Wait, really? From a charity to a for-profit. But is it a charity? Is OpenAI charity? Can't be serious. I mean, I know it used to be a different thing. That's crazy. I want to set up a charity. I didn't know that. God, I need to double check. I mean, it's not that I don't trust you. I just want to know how. Yeah, is OpenAI a charity? A question that has been asked. Oh, it's no longer a traditional charity, but that's not exactly a no. It operates as a hybrid organization consisting of a nonprofit. So I knew it was a foundation before. It started as a charity. The OpenAI Foundation and a controlling for-profit corporate arm known as the OpenAI Group functions as a public benefit corporation, which can do the stocks, right? I assume. But I do know that it used to be a foundation and sort of I've known about OpenAI existing, I can say, for a decade at least. And that's only because I was one of those girls that was interested in every part of Elon Musk's, like, things, and I read a biography book about him. I apologize, I swear. I was a bright-eyed young graduate curious about what's happening in the world, and being like, oh, this person seems interesting, and then I just nosedived. Controversial part will be converting the charity part to a non-charity entity. With Elon as an investor in the charity versus now also a competitor. That is interesting. I honestly am not aware of this side of the news. But thank you for sharing. If you find any articles about it, feel free to share it. I will go back to this just to see the conversation about the app blocking. Just listening to I was just seriously, there's a song called Rat, a song that's about Elon Musk. Interesting. I thought about, like a few months ago, rereading the biography that I read when I was a fresh graduate and being like, what do I think of it now? But I was like, I don't want to attract this kind of viewer. Like, I don't know who that viewer would be, but it's possible that a good percentage, maybe even 50%, would be people who actually care about him. And I don't want that as a viewer. So I bailed on that project, even though I started it. Yes. Anyway, moving on. So, if you visit reddit.com on your iPhone today or an Android phone, you are allowed to have an Android phone like me. You may see a pop-up that can't be dismissed. You cannot close it. Can you believe that? Asking you to get the app to keep using Reddit. A Reddit spokesperson told, it's a different website, the Ars Technica, that it was a test for a small subset of frequent logged out mobile users that prompts them to download the app after visiting the site. So, is that because I'm logged out and not logged in? Okay, I'll try logging in next time. They continued, these users are already familiar with Reddit, and we've seen that the experience is much better for them in the app. I literally don't care about any of the features. I just want to see the posts. I'm not voting anything up. I'm not commenting. I'm just lurking. The app offers a more personalized experience, and users can more easily find communities that match their interest. I haven't been as interested about finding communities. I just want to find things that are fun. And maybe informative. Like, maybe something bad is happening in the world. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? Who's talking about it? So, the article says users have since taken to subreddits like r/bug and r/help to voice their displeasure at being blocked out of the website on mobile. I will say frustration. That's another emotion I've been feeling. Are my days of anonymously browsing over? Why do I have to be logged in? Exactly, asked one user. Futurism's Victor Tangerman wrote that the aggressive ad last week featuring the change was the latest indication of the platform's initiatification, a neologism coined by the author Cory Doctorow that describes tech companies deliberately degrading their services in order to maximize profit. Indeed. Despite constant user growth and 121 million daily active users, that's a lot of users, Reddit has struggled to find a path to monetization since it went public on the stock exchange 2 years ago. Oh, that's what going public means. 2 years ago. Wow, that's only 2 years ago. The site's principal revenue is advertising, which explains the push to log users into its mobile app. where it can constantly track their activities. Yes, my Firefox application does have ad block on, so that could be one reason. Aren't the not flares, but like the reaction thingies also a paid version thingy? I have no idea. In 2024, the company also signed a controversial contract, I remember that, with OpenAI that allowed the ChatGPT maker to train its AI models on user-submitted posts. It's currently in legal battles with Perplexity and Anthropic over alleged unlawful use of its data. I mean, yeah, everybody uses Reddit. Reddit's data is actually very valuable because it's very human. And like, it's better than Quora, it's better than Twitter. At least that's my very biased opinion. Over half the population of the US visits Reddit each week, according to the Financial Times. But I mean, that's not, is it like the actual population of the US, or is that the number of people globally? But most of that discovery comes from Google searches, which suggests the so-called front page of the internet is walking a tightrope between monetizing interactions and stifling engagement growth. Okay. Isn't their it's not their data, it's our data. Yeah. I mean, it's the people's data, so let's all of us get paid for it. I just realized if you create content on the internet and it's being monetized by, I mean, not monetized, utilized by AI, you should get paid for it. Because like the companies get paid for it anyways. You should get a bit of that. We have this tweet on the screen that says, I'm not really a Reddit user. However, from time to time, I'm checking through subreddits like r/Monero on my mobile device. But it seems like this is over since Reddit decided to not let me use their website anymore. Yeah, get the app. It says, no way. Yeah, no, I have no intention of getting the ads. The final line here says, it's not the first time Reddit has alienated some of its users. In 2023, it stopped letting users opt out of ad personalization. Then again, in the same year, ahead of its IPO, the company started charging developers for accessing its API. There we go. That's something I've been struggling with, which leads to the shutdown of several popular Reddit clients, including Apollo. I did not know about Apollo, but I did struggle to get getting top Reddit posts, so I just use the public available thingy. All right, let's see what people said on Reddit. I'm guessing they're not really quiet about their opinions. This was the most talked about, right? 4,200 comments. So this is the most talked about of the past 30 days that I was able to get. Desktop only for me then, which means I'll be here even less. Yeah, I'm not always on a desktop or a laptop, but yeah. Desktop version just loads. No way. What? If I tick the desktop version, it works? Why am I so... I didn't realize I was so not smart. No way. Huh. Another commenter says, turn the app into beep, prevent users from accessing Reddit without the app, ? Profit. Exactly. And then the 0th step is block access to all other better apps. True. I mean, I wasn't using them, but yeah. Another commenter is saying, them killing third-party apps and subsequent protests that they solved by just replacing the mods shocked me so much. Made me realize how bad Reddit admins have become. Admins like actual people who do that? Not like mods. Admins would be people who are paid by Reddit. Not interested in websites trying to force their app. I don't need a zillion apps on my phone that are just the mobile site running in Chromium. Yeah, it's just a iframe. Your browser isn't supported to download our app. It's a web view when you download the app. Is it though? I don't know. Another commenter says, I don't mind the app, but not letting me sort by hot or old has seen my users down to 90%. Wait, you can't do that on the app? Even on the app? Or is that like... Turns out I don't want to see posts from 3 days with 100 upvotes and 11 comments. What's wrong with posts with 100 upvotes and 11 comments? Wow. Okay. Already remains the proper way to browse Reddit. Wait, that's still available? The second this happens to me, will be the thing to finally get me to drop Reddit entirely. Yeah, the problem is I've dropped Reddit, but my use of other apps have gone up. Like, I'm not as much of an Instagram user for like outside news. It's just people that I follow, but then I do open these other apps. Yeah. Huh. Just use old instead of www for the Reddit URL. I know the interface, and I feel like I've accessed it before. Apparently you could do a bunch of things, including seeing all posts without even login. In the old Reddit, that's cool. Yeah, that is what I was about to mention. Cool. I will test the desktop tick, and then I will test, because I will say I like seeing the card view, because I get to see the photos, not just the headlines. If that doesn't work, we shall go back to the old Reddit. I actually remember when I first learned about Reddit. I was a university student, because I wasn't using Reddit then. And then I was listening to How It's Made, the podcast by Guy Raz, I think. And he was interviewing, I don't know how many founders of Reddit there are, but a Reddit founder, or the Reddit founder. And I remember him saying, this is the front page of the internet. And I don't think that was my gateway in, but I think that was when I learned about it. I don't know when it was my gateway in. I don't know when I started being a regular lurker. But yeah. So it's not really, I mean, it's long, but not as long as Reddit has existed. Alright, so the most scores divided by comments, meaning it's upvote / comment ratio, discussion ratio, is, so our next news article is, GitHub just switched Copilot to metered billing, and developers are watching months of credit vanish in a single day. I feel bad about this. I'm not laughing. I'm just laughing about some of the posts I've seen where it's like too much money have been lost, and there was, I'm guessing it was a joke, a post somewhere on WhatsApp, someone saying, oh, are you buying a wedding ring? And they're like, nope, that's my my token cost. Indeed, oh my. So this is a article by TechSpot, written by, ooh, that's a cool name, Sky Jacobs, on June 3rd. Oops, this is not a May article, but hey. And it says, GitHub just switched Copilot to metered billing, and developers are watching months of credit vanish in a single day. The subtitle is called "The Token Bill is Due," which sounds really cool. Bottom line, GitHub's move from flat fee requests to metered usage is forcing many developers to confront something they had largely ignored: how many tokens their everyday coding habits consume and what that usage actually costs. I actually have an anecdote here. So I have not been using Claude as much because Claude is very limited, but I do use ChatGPT. Sometimes one of the uses I like ChatGPT for is me rambling about the things that are thoughts that are rushing in my head, and asking for it to list it or to prioritize it, help me prioritize it, because I'm the one who's doing the prioritizing, but it's doing the note taking. It's a really good note taker. So yeah, like voice to text, and then to let's list plan the week or something like that. That has been a use that I do. And recently I used Claude, and it's obviously a really good model, but because of the limit it has on its use, it's making me not use it. And I am the type of user who says, thank you for answering my question. Here's the next question. I do way too many like conversation style tokens, which is obviously bad. Is that like get tokens you send, or is that tokens you receive? That's a question that let's see if the article answers. I think the reasoning tokens are the big cost now. Okay, so there are different, like I know Copilot has analytics and other reasoning and researcher. Those are like things you can select, which I have not used. I'm like, I just want to talk. No, it's not about talking. I don't know if it's a me thing, but I feel like LLMs have become a part of our lives. Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I should not give it so much power. I mean, I'm not. I don't think I am. Honestly, I try not to. I'm loving the fact that people are running out of their AI budget because of this. But that's GitHub. So GitHub is, I'm guessing people are using Claude through GitHub for coding. Oh, okay, that clicks. Okay. As the new credit-based pricing exposes the expense of long chats, who's that? Not me. Large context windows and frontier models. What I would do, and sorry for again not letting myself finish the article, is have why can't they code without AI though? Great question. It's either Stack Overflow or AI. Pick your battle. Don't expect me to be able to code by myself fully. Like, I'm gonna forget something. I mean, documentation is obviously helpful as well. It doesn't always have to be AI. What I would do if I was one of those people who's wasting too much money is you need to have a mediator model that summarizes the context and removes all the hey girl parts, because like, don't expect your users to be better at chatting and at prompting an AI. Find a solution to make that token less. You're welcome. I'll take my consulting fee right now. So many are rethinking how and how often they rely on AI in their day-to-day work. Back in April, the company said it would move all Copilot plans to a usage-based system that bills users based on actual AI consumption measured in tokens starting June 1st. Okay, so there was a heads up. Under the old setup, subscribers worked from a pool of requests and premium requests, whether they were asking a quick question or letting Copilot grind away for hours on a complex refactor. I mean, it honestly makes sense changing the model because it probably costs them a lot. And by them, we do mean Microsoft, right? GitHub said that the model meant the service was absorbing much of the escalating inference cost from heavy users. That cross subsidy is now over. Instead, users are faced with a meter tied directly to the size of their prompts. See, it's tied directly to the size of their prompts. Make their prompts more summarized. Maybe some context goes away, but I bet it's less than 80%. I need to profit in this. I need to market this. I can make your prompts smaller, but like, give me money, you know? The length of Copilot's response, and like remove anything that has the, like any stop words. It's not necessary. The possibly it does it anyway in the back end with tokenization, and possibly, but it probably costs you though. Instead, users are faced with a meter tied, right? The length of Copilot's response, and okay, there we go. Hey, AI, prompt yourself. Exactly. Know what I'm thinking and prompt yourself. So it's not only the size of the prompt, but the length of the response, and crucially, the model they choose. Obviously, that matters. And that's one of the, I guess, from Reddit users, going from 500 to 5,200. Wow. So on paper, the new pricing structure looks simple enough. Each paid plan comes with a bundle of AI credit, with one credit representing 1 cent of usage. The 10 per month pro tier includes 1,500 credit or $15 worth of AI usage. Pro costs $39 per month, includes 7,000 credit, while the top tier Copilot Max plan costs 100 and comes with 2,000 credits, equivalent of 200 in usage. Cool. Okay. The catch is that those credit pools can disappear at dramatically different rates depending on whether user sticks to lightweight models or rely on the largest model and most expensive ones. Do they have access to all the models? You can't like tell which of the models exist for that company's user? That disparity becomes clear when comparing models. 1 million output tokens from a smaller OpenAI model such as GPT 5.4 Nano costs about 25 through Copilot. That's reasonable. That's very reasonable. That's 1 million output tokens. That could be maybe a week of someone's usage. I don't know. The same volume generated by the Frontier class GPT 5.5 costs roughly $30. I'm guessing that's not a week of people's use if their spending costs go up to 5,000 per person. That's a lot in a month. For developers who typically use the default settings, that difference was easy to ignore when everything consumed a single premium request, meaning you can change the the settings. Under usage-based billing, however, the same let's see what it does approach can burn through a month's worth of credit in just a few sessions. I have seen, not used, but seen people using Copilot to go through their code base and fix things or optimize things, and I'm guessing that's going to reach the millions very easily when I don't know if even tabs would be seen as tokens, because in coding, the way the file looks, tabs are there, spaces are there, parentheses are there. Would each of that be a token? Wow. The impact is already visible in figures users are sharing. A simple build a Minesweeper game prompt runs through Claude's Haiku 4.5 via Copilot consumed about 94 credits for a toy project. That may seem manageable, but when users move from toy projects to production workloads, consumption can rise quickly. That is true. This is not just listen to me babble for 5 minutes and then give me what I said in a more structured manner. It's go through my whole code base and maybe review it, maybe tell me what needs to be changed, maybe actually do the changes yourself. Have you guys seen those posts on online where you see the number of changes in a pull request and it's in the millions? That's crazy. So one person reported a single complex prompt consuming 171 credits, and that's one prompt. Another said that a few prompts used up 700 I read the 5,000 here, 700 credits. In one case, a couple of Copilot driven commits consumed 5,000 credits. A full quarter of Copilot's max monthly allowance. Wow, is Copilot max thing? Maybe it's one of the things they offer. Even ostensibly? Why do you need the word ostensibly? I don't even know what it means. Anyway, does it mean basically? Even ostensibly routine work is providing more expensive than some developers expected. Users have complained about spending 15 credits on what they describe as run-of-the-mill query, or 100 credits to generate a small plan. Yeah. One user said they were super cautious on the first day, limiting their experimentation on Cloud Sonnet 4.6, yet still spent 840 credits. And that was being super careful. Another, after watching 21% of their pro credit disappeared in a single day, concluded, I have a feeling I'll be going somewhere else pretty soon. Yeah, probably. Mass exodus. Some users are treating the new pricing model as a nudge to tighten up their workflows. Yeah, maybe think a little bit before making everything a prompt. Developer Henry Kinnunen said they only used 161 credits during a productive day by making very focused and deliberate changes with AI. I mean, that should be how maybe you use it while using GPT 5.3 codecs. Others are revising long-running habits that made sense when token usage was effectively invisible, meaning non-existent. On Blue Sky, developer Neil Hewitt pointed out that keeping a 3-day chat thread alive means sending the entire conversation back as context with every request. No, that's so not good. Those past messages all count as input tokens. I didn't know that. And input tokens now have a direct cost. As he put it, input tokens use credit. It's not rocket science. Really? The whole chat is a context. I mean, it makes sense. So the backlash has prompted, that's funny, some users to explore alternatives with less aggressive pricing, at least for now. One developer described integrating DeepSeek into a GitHub and VS Code workflow and estimated the cost at about 7 cents for 15 million tokens. That's a big difference. A figure that illustrates just how wide the pricing gap can be between providers and models. At the same time, there is a growing sense that Copilot's move may not remain an outlier for long. If other AI coding assistants follow the same path, the era of flat fee, all you can eat access could be coming to an end. For developers, that shifts the conversation from what can this model do to what is this task worth. Token efficiency, context management, and model selection. Those were once abstract concerns are becoming operational decisions with real budget implications. The challenge is no longer just getting the best answer, but getting an answer that is good enough without quietly burning through next month's AI budget in the process. Yes, indeed. To see what people are saying on Reddit. So we have just had a look internally, and quick calculations paints a picture that will be burning money in 1 month, equivalent of one full-time employee in developed countries would cost in a year. You're kidding me. We have about 80 developers using AI so I could hire 12 more people with the cost of AI. Like, honestly, this is making people rethink, not people, companies rethink what they're doing with, let's fire people and have one AI model just doing everything for us. And that's a very good thing. Like, this is good. Another commenter is saying drug dealers laughing at these novices. I wouldn't know. Came here to make the same comment. AI companies copy drug dealers hard. Oh, get them. Got it. Just understood it. Want a taste? Come back for more. Yeah. So get them addicted first, and then get the rank up the price. Wow. AI is following the Silicon Valley playbook. Disrupt the industry, sell a product at a loss. That's true though. Get everyone using it, then raise the price because people are used to the product and willing to pay for it. How did all these companies not see this coming? They themselves have been using this exact strategy. Fair point. Another comment saying, honestly, I've been eating good for the past few weeks when it comes to AI schadenfreude. That's funny. I'm going to need to get out of the habit of scolding Copilot. That costs extra now. Yeah, being disappointed at your LLM's output, that costs money now. I'm enjoying reading these comments. I'll do one more. This is so wild. MS has spent billions to attract customers to the service by subsidizing the price, and then abruptly they kicked 90% of these customers away to Chinese cheap open models. Cool. Now people are more conscious about what they're doing. Ooh, this commenter is saying metered billing is the reckoning that will pop the AI bubble. When people and companies realize how much it costs to actually run large models, the viable use case and market cap shrink significantly. That's a good point. Like this popping the... it's probably going to just spread users out more, which is, I suppose, good. Okay, so we read 3 articles. One most scored, one most discussed, and one middle ground of high score and high comments. Can I be lazy and read some of those? Some of these titles. You know what? I will do 2 more things, which is not reading the whole thing, but going back to like this is today, right? Yep. Going to the oldest date, which is so the oldest date that we have is May 6th, and it says more than half of Gen Z users cancel and renew streaming services for a single title, won't purchase full price video games, new study finds. Can you blame them? Do they even... I wouldn't blame them. And then that's 1. We have 100 points, so 51 would be halfway. Let's see what's halfway. Cash Patel's apparel site is trying to trick visitors into installing malware. That is the FBI director? Dear God. Okay. And then the newest article is a CEO told employees they won't get raises in 2026 because the budget is going to AI. For God's sake, we literally just said it costs less to hire people versus AI. But I mean, if you force, wasn't there a quote by NVIDIA's CEO saying if not a good portion of your budget is going to AI tokens and not your employees using AI every day at a high rate, then what are you doing? I mean, he's saying that because he wants money, but yeah. Okay. This is the end of the Reddit Tech r/technology news review.